Hola amigos, welcome back to another episode of ¿Quién soy yo? Demonios del otro lado, the podcast that dares to ask what prayers you whisper when the shadows whisper back. I'm your host Dre, and today is another deep dive into my childhood past. Last week you got to meet Ariana, and this week you get to meet Jackie.
Hello, I'm really excited to be here. A little nervous, but I can't wait to start talking about ghosts.
Jackie and I were very, very close. Well, we still are very close, but we were closer than we were to Ariana because she's a baby, so she wasn't really like with us most of the time. Jackie and I have experienced a lot of paranormal encounters, so I'm excited to talk about it today. Today we are opening up about the paranormal experiences we had growing up, from strange shadows and unexplained noises to a Ouija board session that went too far. I guess we could just start at the beginning. Do you remember the first time you felt like something wasn't right in the house?
In Grandma's house?
Like Grandma's house specifically, yeah.
I don't remember the first time, but I just remember like always not feeling like just comfortable there. I just always felt like someone was watching you. Like even if you went to the restroom and the curtains closed, you felt like someone was on the other side of the curtain. It was just really creepy in there. Like just automatically felt that. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, even now, like whenever we go visit, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, even when we go visit, like I always encounter like footsteps. I have not seen anything, thankfully, but for sure footsteps and strange noises, like maybe things being like thrown around or something. But
yeah, or it sounds like something's getting thrown in the kitchen, and like you go check and like there's nothing there.
Yeah, and so at one point Jackie did live at my grandma's house, and I think you had encountered some stuff there, like on your own.
Yeah, because I think I moved there before y'all did. Yeah. So like Nena's room used to be like my room.
Nena is Ariana, by the way.
Yeah, which is our like younger sister, the one y'all met last week. So that was my room, and I just remember my grandparents were asleep, and my brother wasn't there because he was working, and I think I was just on my phone or I was watching TV, and then like somebody in the other room, because it's like a room within a room within a room at her house, and it's like the middle room, like they knocked on the wall 3 times, and like back then I wasn't like scared like that. So I knocked back 3 times, waiting to see if I'm gonna hear something again, and like I didn't hear anything, so I just went to sleep. But like that was like, it was pretty weird because there was like no one there on the other side of the house.
Our brother also was raised in that house, so he's experienced a lot more things in there. Guys, when I tell y'all that my grandma's house it's a portal to something else, honestly. Like there's not just one ghost there. Like you will encounter multiple. It's not even, I know we talked about it in the first episode with Ariana, that there is a man there. There is also a little girl in the back room that was my room. And then my brother has seen a woman in his old room, which is now Ariana's room. There's just a bunch of things that have happened there.
And that room also belonged to our grandma's brother he passed away there too. So
do you remember that one time when we were sleeping in we were in my room, right? My room. And okay, like we were younger, right? Like we were like maybe 10, right? Yeah. So it was the both of us, our little sister and my grandma, and we were sleeping in that back room because it just had the biggest bed, and it was like the biggest room in the house. So like it was bedtime, right? So we were just laying down. My grandma and my little sister, or our little sister, was already asleep, and Jackie and I could not fall asleep for the life of us. And our brother was in the room adjacent to us with the door closed, and he was talking to his girlfriend. So I just remember us like giggling and just like talking or whatever. I don't even think, did we have phones at that time?
No, we had nothing to do. Back then you just have to talk to each other,
right? Like there was no iPad. I mean, there was iPads, we couldn't afford them, but like we were not iPad kids. So we kind of just had to like chit chat and like entertain ourselves. Um, what do you remember from that? Like after that?
I just remember like yeah, like you said, like we were talking, and then I know there was a point where we ended up getting tired, um, and we weren't really talking anymore, but we were just there, and that's like when we heard like the door was closed, right?
Yeah, it was close.
And it like got kicked open on its own, and obviously that woke us up, but that didn't wake up my grandma or my little sister, and we were just like what the heck, like.
Yeah, because it's like a wooden. It's a wooden door, like and for some reason it sounds hollow. I don't know, but the kick was so loud, like we stopped laughing and we are like, like. So I think one of us went to go check to see, but it was just dark in the other room. Um, so I guess at that point we were like, let's just go to sleep already.
I think you ended up falling asleep.
Yeah, I had enough. I was like, no, we're not doing this. And I guess I just fell asleep, but I know something happened after that when I, yeah.
Because I ended up falling asleep, but I had it, and when I fell asleep, I had a dream that there was like a little child, like, because I was like I ended up sleeping the opposite of you, so she's like where the wall is, so like here's the wall. I was the other way, and I just in my dream there was someone standing there, and like I got scared, so I knew that she was asleep and everyone else in that room was asleep, but my brother wasn't. So I called my brother, and I just told him like, can you stand at the door because I'm really scared, and he did. So he was standing at the door waiting for me to go over there because he knew I was scared. And then I was watching YouTube videos, like watching the Beatles songs like backwards and stuff like that.
Oh, the subliminal messages. Yeah, that was, yeah.
It was like a big thing in that time. And he was talking to his girlfriend. But I kept hearing like a little girl and an older lady like whispering to each other. And I kept telling him like, I keep hearing that, like you should go check. He's like, you go check. And I was just like, no. And then he wouldn't hear it though until he heard it, but I didn't. So then he knew I wasn't like making it up, and like he's like, let's go check. So he goes and I follow him, and he opens the door and it's like super dark in that room, and everyone was asleep. Like there's no one else. Like my grandpa's like in his room, which is like 2 rooms away, and everything was just dark, and my sisters and my grandma were like asleep. So we were just like, that's weird. We just closed the door.
I was wondering like what happened with the door because it was so loud. It literally sounded like they kicked it open. And I remember the next morning we asked Grandpa like, hey, did you go open the door or something? And he was like, no. Like, and yeah, it had to have been like maybe 3 a.m. Yeah. So that was one thing. That's one experience that I don't think I could ever forget.
But it doesn't top the other thing that we would never forget.
And just when we thought it couldn't get any more creepier, so around maybe like not the same age, but
we were a little older.
We were definitely in middle school, and I think I was in 7th grade and you were in 6th grade, maybe, or maybe I was 8th and you were 7th. I don't remember. Like so we decided to play with something that we definitely shouldn't have, but I'll just let you tell the story.
We were just really curious, like we knew that there's like bad stuff out there, and but like obviously we're young and we wanted to know if it was true, like
well, honestly,
we ended up finding out.
Yeah, well, honestly I think it's because we heard so much about it like growing up. Our grandma would always talk about it, and she's had her own like
crazy stories.
Yeah,
experiences.
Yeah, and like that's a whole nother episode that I'm planning for later, because there's just a whole lot. Like she has stories for days. I'm not kidding. But so okay, this time we were in middle school, and there was these girls, they were sisters. They had invited us over for like they had invited us over for a sleepover, and it was them 2 and us 2 and then another girl. So the 2 sisters, right? I think one was Alyssa and the other one was Marissa, right? So their mom was going to be there, and it was just going to be us 5 there. And the other girl that wasn't related to anybody, she brought a Ouija board, and I had no knowledge of it like until we went outside to the backyard. And first of all, the backyard was pitch black and huge. Yeah, it was huge. And I was like, why are we out here? And it had like one light, which is like just the one porch light. Yeah. So tell me why we were sitting on the steps and like the girl pulls out the Ouija board and like we're kind of like, like we knew better not to. We knew better.
Yeah, because we were told like, don't mess with that. But we wanted to see if it was true.
Right. So we end up like playing it or whatever. And mind you, the two sisters, their mom did not know that we were outside playing the Ouija board. So we're over here like, having our little session. And we hear their mom coming out or coming towards the door. So we don't even like, how like they say you have to say goodbye. We didn't say goodbye. So the girl, like we all panicked. So the girl that brought the Ouija board put it back in her purse, and their mom was like, what are y'all doing out here? And we're like, oh, nothing, whatever. So then she went out and we stayed in the house or whatever. And I remember them saying that their garage is like a creepy place, right?
Which it was pretty creepy.
Yeah. And they said that their little dog used to bark in the garage like over and over again. And I think at one point they found the dog dead.
No, because remember like the Ouija board, she asked something to the Ouija board. The Ouija board told her that her dog was going to die. Oh. And he did die. Don't you remember?
Yes.
And we were just like, when I remember when you told me that the dog had died. She was crying or something. That's really sad.
Oh, bro, you just blew my mind right now. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. That's like stuck with me. I mean, that whole experience has always stuck with me. And I tell everyone like, no, like it was real. Like I'll never touch that again.
Right. So I don't know why, but we just wanted a little thrill. And because they told us that their garage was like super like weird. So my sister and I were like, okay, EVP session, right? So like we went into the garage, just us two, and I had my little
telling you we were not scared.
No.
I don't think you're scared, right?
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
I mean, like don't
But paranormal stuff has always fascinated me. Oh, yeah. So all of us, because even our family, like that's like our thing. Like
so many stories. That's crazy. But anyways.
So us wanting a little thrill, we go into the garage and I have my little phone and we were asking questions like, is anybody here? What's your name or whatever? And what did I ask?
Honestly, I don't remember like the other questions. The only question I remember her asking, because that's what stuck with me, is anybody in here? I remember you asked that, and that's when we heard what we heard. Yeah. But even that, everything else on that video is like a blur because we didn't hear anything after that. It was just that alone would have like scared you. Yeah.
So I remember asking that. I had said, "Is there anybody in here?" And when we went back inside to go listen to the EVP session, you can hear me say, "Is there anybody in here?" Yeah. And then like, in the ugliest, like deepest demonic voice, it says, "I'm the devil." And like as soon as we heard that, because it was so clear, bro, like it was so clear, and like everybody heard it and we all freaked out, and we honestly all sat in the living room and just like in silence. I don't even think they had a TV.
No, like, they didn't. It was very weird.
It was weird, yeah.
But like we sat together on the couch, like close. We were super scared, and we just waited for our mom, to come get us, because like that was terrifying. Like it was very terrifying.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. That was, yeah. And then I remember the whole dog thing, bro. Like you blew my mind.
Yes, dude. My mind was blown whenever, like, because I remember, like, we were asking it questions, but we never told it bye, and they said it's, like, really bad to do that. But, like, I remember it saying that her dog was going to die, and it did. And I'm like, I remember when you told me that, I was like, that's scary.
But honestly, like, when we were doing the session, though, I remember asking it questions, and I don't know if you did, but I don't remember it, answering back.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Right. It answered to her. Them. Yeah. Yeah, and, Who all played it? It was you, me, the sisters. Caroline, right? Yeah. She's the one that brought it, right? Yeah. She was a very odd girl.
Oh, yeah, she was strange. That whole thing was strange. But I'll never forget, and we never went back. I think they had asked maybe like, hey, And I was like, no, we're good.
Never want to experience that again. So yeah, like ever since we played that, like now I experience like a lot of like weird, like either I hear something or I hear things moving, but like all the time. And I don't know if it's because like we played the Ouija board. And then like, they say that, you open stuff like, or open the door, and also we didn't say bye. So I don't know if like that's the reason why.
Yeah, dude. Okay. I feel the exact same way. And right now I just thought of whenever I used to work at a hotel in Corpus and I was front desk or whatever. Not that it matters. Anyways, it does matter because I met a lot of people, right? And one of the families that I met, they were moving to Corpus from Puerto Rico or whatever. And like, why Corpus? Yeah, there's nothing there. I got really close to this family and they would always stop by. And I think it's because like I spoke Spanish and like that's all they spoke was Spanish. So we kind of just clicked and I was like there for them in the way. But the lady, she was obviously older than me. She has 2 kids, like she's married or whatever. But me and her got like really close and we had a birthday party for our nephew and our niece. And I was like, hey, you guys are just like cooped up in the hotel room, like you guys should come to the party. It was gonna be there anyways in the meeting room, so I was like, you guys should come. So they came and I sat with them and we were just kikiing or whatever, just talking. And I used to have this bracelet and it was like it had all the angels or like a whole bunch of angels or whatever. My mom had got it for us like individually because I think you had one too. The lady, her name is Ori, she saw my bracelet and she was like, oh, your bracelet's so pretty. I was like, oh, thank you. She asked me, are you a spiritual person? And I was like, yeah, I guess you could say that. I do believe in like this and this and this. And, the angels, protect me or whatever. She reveals to me that she's a clairvoyant. And I was like, oh, okay, bet. Like, okay, Lorraine, like she's here. But, yeah, so I was like, okay, girl, like tell me my future or whatever. She said that she said, I see something hovering over you and it's following you and it doesn't like that I'm telling you that I see it, that it's following you. And I was like, I think you should go back to your hotel room. No, just kidding. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And she was just like, yeah. And she starts like getting goosebumps and stuff. She's like, yeah, look, it does not like me talking to you. She asked me, do you know why I would be following you? And I said, no, I mean, I don't really do anything like sus or anything like that. But the only thing that I can think of is because I had played the Ouija board one time and we didn't say goodbye. And like, I don't know if that's like a portal that's still open within us. And, I think that's why we experience things the way that we do.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like another thing that I've experienced, I mean, that's just like, I think I would have been freaked out a little bit if someone would tell me that. But another thing of like, cause we played the Ouija board and like things that I've experienced, like I remember, we were going to sleep. My husband, me, my kids. My kids were sleeping in the room with us because we were going to Six Flags the next day with my entire family. And my daughter was asleep already. My son was asleep. My husband and I were still awake. But we were already getting ready to like, we turned the lights off and like we're already gonna lay down. So like I'm facing, like my husband's facing that way, like towards the wall, and the door to exit our room is like right there. And so I was facing him, so all I see is his back and I can see the top of the door. My biggest fear is like if the door opens, like, and it's pitch black on the other side. I'm just like, I never want to experience that. Well, with my luck, I experienced it because the door opens and all I see is like it opening. And I'm like, who's opening the door? And we lived with my in-laws. Yeah. So I'm like, they wouldn't just do that. Like,
And you guys also lock your door.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, I'm looking at, anytime I hear like something, I'm looking at my husband, like you have to experience this with me, like, so,
valid.
Yeah. And I'm waking him up and, I'm like, the door just opened and he woke up in time to see the door actually closing. So like, no, yeah, yeah. And he went to go check because he's not afraid. So, but I am. And he went to go check because he ended up hearing like crying going towards like the living room area. And I'm not thinking that, oh, it's like one of my children. So he's over there, and what he told me he saw was that like he sees our daughter walking towards the front door on her own with her hands like up in the air, like that. Like if something's like taking her that way, and she's crying.
Absolutely not.
I know. It was
absolutely not. Mm-mm.
And when I hear him say Skylar, like I think he said Skylar, and well, I'm just like, what? Like I look at her bed and there's no one on the bed, and I'm just like, yeah, I was terrified. My daughter, like he brought our daughter back, and I'm just holding her, and she's just like trembling in fear, and she's crying. But she said there was a little boy, right? It was like a little. Oh, okay.
She's in the room right now, guys, and she's covering her ears because she's scared. We're bringing Skylar so she can come tell her side.
Hi guys, I'm Skylar. I am 9 years old.
Give me a minute. Let me laugh. Okay, just tell them what you remember.
So all I saw was a devil taking me outside.
Did she just say the devil? Excuse me.
I don't remember you saying the devil, baby.
Oh, not the devil. So I saw a little boy telling me that.
I remember he said like to follow you, right?
Yeah, he told me to follow me.
To follow him.
Yeah, and after that, he took me to a weird place. Yeah, I was crying because, like, he took me to the woods. Like, I saw weird things, like a deer with a long neck. I could have seen his face. Not his face. The deer's face. Then I always keep hearing the noise until I heard my dad calling me.
Why do you sound so sad?
I know, why do you get so sad right now?
Just like dramatic. Were you dreaming?
I think she was like she was asleep.
Ow.
Like sleepwalking? Mm-hmm. Guys, claps for Skylar. That was very brave of her to come tell that. But the devil, girl. Y'all going back home tonight, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm scared. So after Crispin brought her back, you were holding her and she was trembling?
Yeah. She was crying. I was crying too because like that's terrifying. Like something like took my child out of the room, and I don't even know. What if we were asleep? Like, you know, like
yeah,
what could have happened? Like that's just so weird.
Also, she is the biggest scaredy cat in the world. Like, sorry, mommy, but she is. She literally just pottied with the door open because she's scared. Not to put it out there.
No, it's true. She's scared. That's how I know. Like, she wouldn't have gone in the dark. There's like it was pitch black out there. Like, she wouldn't have gone. Like, I know she wouldn't.
Yeah. So
I know she wasn't awake. Like, you know. But she's never sleepwalked. Even to this day, she's never sleepwalked. So that was just like, it was just that one time. And I hope I never have, like, experienced that because they have their own room. And I'm like, that would be scary because I'm not even going to know. Like, you know?
It's a lot of stuff that's happened to this guy.
No, yeah. And I'm like, is it my fault because we played the Ouija board? Like, and we didn't say bye to it? Like, it's very, like, I don't know. It messes with you.
Going back to Odi and how she's a clairvoyant, she was telling me that, oh, I see this, like, hovering over you, which I don't feel anything negative ever. Like, I mean, sometimes, you know, the occasional, like, depression or whatever, but that's, like, rooted in other things. So, like, you would think that something dark energy, like, hovering over me all the time would, like, bring me to a low. And I don't feel like that ever. And
the thing is, which my husband has told me, that this man that he knows, that he used to work with, has told him before about people that have played the Ouija board or get their cards read. They usually do have problems like jealousy, like insecurity, like bad. And I'm like, well, I have done both, and I know that like I've had like issues like that. They're not as bad now because like you can work on it, and especially if you're not like, you don't put yourself in like that position to like play with that stuff, like, you know. But that, like he says, like people that do that, I mean, they have a lot of problems. I'm like, I can see that because things that you open like that, like, you know, they're gonna want to mess with your life, like, in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know?
That does make a lot of sense. I'm not gonna lie, but
I just never saw it like that. Like, you know, like people have
perspective.
yeah, perspective. Like, yeah, like it could be like that stuff.
Getting your cards read and like, you know, kind of dabbling in stuff like that. We did talk about it in the first episode with Ariana. Yeah. We talked about the one time that her friend read my cards and it was exactly what was going on in my life and I couldn't believe it. And she didn't even know my name. And I was like, oh, this girl's the real deal. Like, you know, I cried when she told me everything because there's no way. I'm like 200 miles away from them. So there's no way she knows what's going on with me, you know. Yeah. So that was crazy. So like the whole like, I knew she was a bruja for real. Like when I think about like getting cards read and stuff like that, like that's just such a normal thing in our family.
Oh yeah, because they normalized it, I think.
True. We were exposed to it very early on. Not that we were getting our cards read early like that, but we didn't start getting our cards read until we were like out of high school. You know.
I've only had my cards read once.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was way out of high school. I was in my 20s.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I would not speak up, but I did.
No, I mean that's perfectly fine. I mean, I have had my cards read a few times. It's not a big deal. Like to me, it's not. If anything, it's interesting, and a lot of what has come out like has happened, and it's not like it's just normal for me, I guess. Like, it's not like people are like, oh, why do you do that? Like,
well, there's two different like perspectives here. Just because like you don't see a problem, but I like since I've done it, it's just I do have a different perspective on like when you get your cards read, because like you're not supposed to do that. Yes, it is gonna tell you what's gonna happen, but I don't believe that you should know.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with like not wanting to know when you die, right? Like, yeah. Like, okay, but honestly, it's very rare that I do, and it's usually when it's like when things are happening and don't make sense, and I just want to know like, is this in the cards for me? You know, literally.
I get that. Like you wanna know, but I also personally think that when you do and you put yourself in that position, then the things that happen to you, that's why it happens. Right. Because you're putting yourself into that. So, but everyone, you know, you're at free will to do whatever you want. Like, you know. But I just wouldn't.
No, yeah. No, I appreciate your feedback on that because I think it's important and healthy to have like multiple opinions and perspectives on things like that. And again, I'm very like selective on when I do it. And even when I do, I take it with a grain of salt. I don't like, oh, this is going to happen for real. Because it doesn't work like that. Like,
no, yeah, 100%.
But I guess going back to like the paranormal stuff that we've experienced, like, now that we're grown up, like, do you think we imagined some of it, or do you think it really, really happened? Like, for real?
In certain things, like the Ouija board for sure happened. Yeah. That was not made up.
Yeah, that was.
But there's certain things like, okay, like we heard this and that, like, or like we're scared of that there's something on the other side of the curtain in the restroom. Like, maybe that's just in our mind, but it's because we would hear a lot of stuff at grandma's house. So I think that's why we're just so like afraid, like, you know. And especially like our grandfather, like scaring us on purpose, like saying that que resollo and all that, like when we're trying to get something for them, you know. So I feel like we were scared already. But yeah, I think like some of it was like in our imagination, but a lot of it probably was not.
But you know what? Like these stories that we have, it's so fun to tell them when we're like sitting together, like literally during the carne asadas, and we're like, hey, this happened, you know, blah blah blah, and then everybody just starts chiming in and telling their stories, especially when we're in Mexico. It's my favorite time. I will pull up a chair every single time.
Oh yeah, and to hear other people's stories too.
Yeah, because I don't know why, but a lot of crazy shit happens in Mexico. Like, love Mexico, right? But like, why? Why is all this stuff happening? Especially grandma's house over there.
And honestly, our grandma is like the best storyteller. She just the way she's telling you a story, like you want to sit down and hear all of it. Like you know, she's a great storyteller, grandma.
She's so like, she just like grabs your attention. Yeah, like, damn, grandma. Like, so I do plan on having her on the podcast. Dude, that's gonna be like 4 episodes or something, because she has stories for days.
Be the whole podcast.
Yeah,
Dude.
she's gonna be the co-host. Like,
no, literally.
yeah. I think it's safe to say that these experiences have brought us close together too, not just with our family, but like within ourselves, because like we've gone through these things, and like we know that we experience it, and when we seek comfort in each other, like, hey, did you see that? Yeah, I did see that. You know.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't feel crazy at all. Like,
like we know who understands.
Right.
You had to be there.
Yeah, you just had to be there. Well, thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate you being on here. This is such a new thing for us, and like when I ask to like, hey, can I interview or whatever, like it's nerve-wracking, because like it's just something different and new. So
yeah,
I really do appreciate it.
But at the same time, like it's being nervous, but at the same time, it's like if we're just telling a friend what we've been through. Yeah. Just we're telling y'all through a camera.
And to everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any childhood stories or anything that you want to share, please send it in to us, or send it in to me, and I would be more than happy to tell them on the next podcast episode. If you guys really like this video, please give it a thumbs up and give me a follow, please, and share it with your friends. Like, this is just like a cool hangout like time. It's something fun and something that we enjoy doing, and I hope you guys enjoy it with us. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.